Moving on to the Free State now, where 4 high school boys are appearing in court facing sexual assault charges. The boys from Tlotlanang High School in Thaba Nchu allegedly sexually violated a 15-year-old girl from the same school on the school premises. Our colleague Aphumelele Mdlalane is bringing us more on the story live from Bloemfontein. A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
4 boys from Tlotlanang Primary School are expected to appear at Silosisha Magistrate Court in Thaba Nchu for allegations of sexual assault of a 15-year-old girl. But just to understand such situations where minors are involved, I just want to bring the acting director from social development as well as Mutlaka, who is also a social worker. Let's just break this down. 4 boys have allegedly sexually assaulted a 15-year-old. We're talking about minors here. What really strikes when we're talking about minors, of course? What really strikes them to do such action?
Thank you, Sisi. We are dealing with a challenge of a moral decay in our community, in our society, and in the country at large. We are dealing with gender-based violence that these children witness in their homes and in their communities. And as such, there's a lack of respect for women by males and subsequently by boy children. This could be one of the reasons why such acts are happening. But because as social development, we deal with these matters on a daily basis. Some of the themes that we've picked up as contributory factors, it's issues of peer pressure for these boys, because they compete about certain things that they have to do in order to impress their friends, which then subsequently violate girl children. There's also issues of substance abuse, because most of these boys are exposed to drugs and other substances that affect their mental thinking and contribute to them committing such acts. We are also dealing with issues of bullying, because some of the boys could be bullied in being forced to commit such acts in order to feel like they belong in a certain group of their age groups within the schools. So these are the matters that we have to deal with as communities. But it goes back to also issues of unsupervised television programs that these children are exposed to that have explicit sexual content, which when they see on TV, they would then want to experiment. And unfortunately, in their process of experimentation, they violate the rights of girl children.
And in terms of counseling, how far do you go? Do you maybe also involve everyone in the school voluntarily who would want to, of course, to be assisted with counseling, or you just take a note of where the case has happened?
When cases are brought to social development, when we have contact with victims, we first deal with the victim and the immediate family. And if it's a situation like this one where it has happened in a school, the school would then indicate their needs, because some of the schools do have social workers that they can handle debriefing internally in the schools. But in instances where they need social workers from social development, they then do a call out and we do attend to such matters.
And what is expected in court as we're dealing with the minors?
The expectation is that the procedure is in camera, because we are dealing with minors. And as with this case today, the social worker is only, the probation officer is actually only going to meet the suspects for the first time today to do the assessment in terms of the Child Justice Act, because the assessment has to be done to determine what could have caused these boys to commit such an offense, and also to make recommendations to the court after having done the assessment.
And with your experience, would you really say that there's still social ills are also contributing, of course, to this? Like you did mention that also from our communities, there's still lack of communication in terms of addressing such issues that are related to this matter. We are experiencing a lot of social ills as a country, and most of them, we experience them in the most impoverished communities, because resources where children can do recreational activities, for instance, are very limited. But it doesn't condone the behavior of boy children of violating girl children in the schools, or males in general violating women.
Yes.
All right, thank you. That is the acting, of course, acting from Department of Social Development, Mamutlaka, who's also a social worker, just giving us an overview of usually what happens when they are dealing with cases that involve minors. Like she did indicate that this will be on camera, and there wouldn't be, of course, media allowed because it is minors, but also parents will be present as the proceedings will take place. I just want to bring the spokesperson of the Department of Education, Mr. Howard Ndaba, just to give us the background as to this, what we're dealing with today. When was it brought to your attention, and what really transpired? What do you know?
First, I think is we need to condemn this incident in the strongest possible term, and then it was unwarranted for. But what happened exactly last week is that on Wednesday last week, on the 11th, we are told that during the break time, the victim went out to get something during the break, but he was together with her friend, but he apparently forgot something in the class. When she go back to the class, there were these 4 boys. It was age 14, 15, 16 and 19, who then did whatever they did to her, which is violating her. So immediately as a school, when this thing was brought us to the attention of the school, we immediately suspended these boys for 2 weeks. So that is where we are as a school. The boys are suspended, and we are working together with the SGP to formulate, to prepare for the process of disciplinary. We really are condemning this incident. And in our situation, in terms of the school safety policy, this is level 4 offense, which is a very serious offense in our school, where a girl learner have been evaluated by 4 boys. And in fact, one of the boys is 19 years old, and we really are disappointed that as somebody who's older than others, we are supposed really to give guidance and protect this young girl.
And the parents of this young girl, what is going on, and also to her?
Yesterday we were there, we deployed our social worker there. They were there until late in the evening, counseling the family of, giving counseling to the family of the victim, and they were there till very late, around 9 o'clock. And they are responding positively to the counseling that they are receiving from the department.
What's the mood at school since the incident happened?
Obviously, the mood is somber, and but what we are going to do, we are also going to bring in the social development to make sure that we really extend the psychosocial support to other learners, to the staff at the school who might have been affected, because really, in the month of Women's Month, this is really serious, and we are really taking this in a very serious light.
Mr. Ndaba, even though it's rare in the province to find such incidents happening, but how far have you gone in making sure that these issues are being addressed? You just mentioned that one of the accused, the suspects, is 19-year-old, but we're talking about primary school here. Please just explain that.
Well, we have got various programs. We have various programs where we teach learners on issues of sexuality. We have a program that also educates learners about issues of bullying. When the learner is being bullied, how is supposed to react. But we are also extending those programs to parents, so that when parents see any unbecoming behavior from the child, he's able to detect that and report it to the relevant authority.
And also the counselling will also be extended to maybe to some learners there who might be affected, maybe his friends with...
Indeed, as we have said yesterday, last night we were focusing on the family. We are going to extend the counselling to the entire school community, including the learners who witnessed this, and then the teachers who are available. We're going to work together with the Department of Social Development to make sure that we extend the psychosocial support, and so that everybody move. At present, the learner is not yet at school, but once he's ready, we'll then allow the learner to be at school and give support as and when he's at school.
All right, that is the spokesperson for Department of Education here in the Free State, Howard Ndaba, saying that the family has been receiving support from the Department of Education, as well as the 15-year-old girl who is currently not back at school at the moment. But he also mentions that 4 of these boys that are appearing today at Sehlosisha Magistrates Court, they are suspended at school. However, they are trying by all means to deal with this situation, and also will be working together with social development to make sure that all necessary measures are put in place in terms of extending also the counseling to friends, even some learners who might feel affected by this situation. However, saying that there's also programs that they are making at schools to make sure that they are educating learners by your sexual education, as he does mention that it is also important, but saying that of course they are working with the Department of Education, though the school at this moment in time, the current situation, it's a somber moment, but they are trying by all means to make sure that also the learner is not behind with academic activities. We'll go to the school, of course, just check what's the situation there, but for now it's back to you.
Our reporter in the Free State there, Aphumelele Mdlalane.